Hi everyone, and welcome to Nat Chats. This is where we talk about the messy middle of business, leadership, and life. The part between the vision and the reality. This is the part where you're figuring things out, where I'm figuring things out in real time, where I'm carrying responsibility, trying to make decisions that actually fit. And since it's January, a lot of people are setting goals right now. They're choosing their words for the year and deciding what they really want their next chapter in this next year to really look like. And here's what I notice every single January is how quickly goal setting turns into pressure. It means more plans, more expectations that we put on ourselves, more things to get right. And really, I want to talk to you today about what the critical step is that actually determines whether people reach their goals and actually get to enjoy the process of reaching their goals. Because for many of us, it's not just about getting to that finish line, but we're really looking to enjoy the journey. And so what this step really is that makes goal setting and even achieving those goals really good and make sure that you're able to do it is clarity. And not just about clarity about what you should be doing, but what actually fits into your life and your business. So one thing I see over and over again with driven, successful people, and especially women carrying big responsibility is this. They're capable. They're so thoughtful. And many times they already have a really solid strategy or plan in place. But things, even with all of that, still feel so heavy for them. They're holding a ton of decisions, they're overthinking, and they're doing things that technically make sense, but don't always feel really good anymore. And that's usually the moment that people assume that they just need a completely new plan, a new goal. And in reality, a lot of the times, they don't need a completely new plan or goal. Recently, I was talking to a fellow business owner who told me about her goals for this year. And what her goal is to become more practical. Over the past few years, she's done a lot of work around her self-leadership and growth. And this year, she wanted systems, processes, structure. Very tactical, very logical approach. But as she was explaining this goal to me, I was watching her energy. And instead of this goal lighting her up, the word practical almost felt heavy to me as I was watching her. There wasn't a ton of curiosity, not a ton of excitement around it. And honestly, she was sounding like she was dreading even meeting this goal already before she'd even started. So because we have a great relationship, I asked her something really simple. I said, okay, so practical is great, but when will this actually get to be fun for you if you're trying to meet this goal? And I ask this because when a goal already feels heavy, just talking about it, that's usually a sign that there's something important that needs to get clearer or refined a little bit in that goal. So we paused the tactical conversation for a minute, and we talked about what practicality and why it mattered to her right now, in this moment, this year, and what she really was hoping that it would give her, what weight it would lift off of her, what kind of future she was trying to build. And then we talked about her business she already enjoyed. And the question became, how do we make this season of practicality really feel supportive, energizing, a little exciting, and maybe even fun? And so instead of purging everything and forcing herself into all these new systems, she started to really identify, and we had her identify, right? We started talking about the systems and parts of her business she really already liked, the ones that worked, the ones that made her life easier, and the ones that she didn't dread touching. From there, she got excited about what she was adding and started to get excited about her goals. And instead of feeling obligated to fix everything, she just became, she started to really think about, instead of what she should be doing, she thought about what would be exciting to do and to add and what it would help her. And so for her in that moment, clarity, it didn't change her strategies. It didn't even almost change a lot of her goals. It changed how she started to carry that goal for this year. And that's really just an example of why clarity matters so much before we start setting goals, because we want them to be exciting, energizing, and fun. Because when something is connected to what you actually care about, what gives, what it gives you, what it frees up, what it makes possible, you start to engage with it a little differently. You want to come back to it. You feel freedom to refine it. You stick with it. And it puts the fun back into the work. And, and fun, I love to use the word fun because it's not about being casual. It's about being connected. And when we're really connected to our work, it becomes more fun. It's energizing. There's joy in it. And this is a great example of why my clients sometimes call me a business therapist. Not because we get stuck in the same problem or only talk about one goal, but because when they get to talk, when we finally work together, they get space to talk through things in a way that leads them somewhere. Session feels calm, they feel focused, they get to be really honest. And with all of that, they leave lighter. They get clear on their next steps and why those steps, they actually understand why those steps make sense. And then what also they get to do is they get to feel confident in letting go of goals, tasks, or beliefs that no longer serve their big picture. And truly, this is the kind of work I love to do. And this is the work that I do inside my 6-month private coaching container, which is just an ongoing space to think clearly, make decisions, and move forward without carrying everything alone. And that's what really my clients and I do together. And I love having these conversations. It's my favorite part of my work. And so if this resonates with you, you can always reach out to me, and I'm always so happy to talk. And if right now you're setting goals and something feels heavier than you expected, don't worry. You are not behind. It might just mean that there's a little more clarity available to you somewhere, because that clarity can make the process feel lighter, more intentional, and even more fun. So, and again, this is the kind of work that I love to explore here in these Nat Chats and with my clients and outside of these conversations. And I'm just so happy you're here. So we'll keep talking about clarity and all the things business and leadership in the new year. And I can't wait to talk about them with you together. Thank you and have a great day.